Hi, welcome to Comic-Con at Home. My name's Jeff Barkley. I'm a makeup artist, and this is One Face, Two Looks panel about having one prosthetic and getting two looks out of it. So we're going to start with Trey, and Trey is always Joker, but he wanted to do a different character and couldn't afford another prosthetic face because they're too expensive. So looking around, thinking what looks good. So we're going to go from a Joker face. And this is a face that has been taken off, put back on, not cleaned. So just to show you, because you can't clean them 100%, and sometimes they don't come out the best. So what we're going to do is take this and change it into another face. So let's start with, and you probably figure out what I'm going to do. We went to the store and we got some pointed ears and colored them green. Start out with. I mean, granted, you have to find a character that's close to the look that you have, but you can still get different looks out of it. So I'm going to just cover the entire thing now with green makeup. This is the boring part. You also want to, would be like practicing at home. You don't want to just do the day of your makeup, just pick it up for the first time and realize you don't know what you're doing with it. So, as you can see, the makeup is not covering very well because the piece wasn't cleaned very well. So. Can we cut this?
Yes. 2, 1.
Okay, so the last makeup wasn't working on this because the mask wasn't cleaned off completely, so we're changing to a different makeup. And I'm just using water-based makeup to cover it. Also, you do not want to rush on your makeup. I don't know if I already said that. Practice with it. I'm rushing because I only have a few minutes to get this done. But when you're doing your makeup for, say, a convention or whatever, don't rush. Take your time, practice, and you'll be so happy that you took your time. All right, Trey, I'm going to need you to help me hold the cup. Thank you. I'm not using a lot of water. And you do not want to do this on a fresh foam piece because it'll just soak in. So because this has makeup on it, we can put this makeup over it. And you can see the water-based makeup's not really covering his old Joker lips. We can go over that with some cream makeup. Oops, drips. Too much water, so don't do that. Okay. And I'm not sure if you've ever been to one of my panels before. I like using foam. You can use silicone. Silicone's a little more expensive when you're buying a prosthetic. Foam prosthetics are expensive. Silicone's going to be more. A straight latex one is going to bunch up too much. You don't want to use that. You're going to sweat too much. Gelatin will work also, but gelatin is hard to find in the U.S. for prosthetics. You can find them in the UK. Readily available, but U.S. gelatin prosthetics are not as easily made because they have a short shelf life. Okay. Again, I'm rushing on this. Don't rush when you're doing your own. Also with foam, Trey, can you feel this cold water through this? Yeah, you can feel through the foam when you're using water or something on it. When you sweat through it to a degree. It's a lot lighter, easier to use, or easier to wear all day, I want to say. Because if you've been going to convention wearing it, you know how long you're in makeup. 8 hours, 12 hours, or if you go to a party afterwards. Okay. We have a little bit of color difference, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. You don't want to leave it straight green either. I mean, you can see in movies they never do. Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz is a good one. Everybody always does a Wicked Witch with green, and she's not just green. She has yellow highlights, she has some darker colors, a little bit of blue. So we're going to try that, okay? Maybe not the blue. Take some yellow, highlight the bones. Hate to keep walking in front of you, but that's what happens when you do makeup. This gives it a little more life, not just a flat mask cartoon look. So in case you haven't guessed, Trey's jumping universes and going from DC's Joker to Marvel's Joker. Marvel's Joker. Marvel's Green Goblin. And a tiny bit of red in the cheek. I mean the folds. Let's see. I don't think I like that. Back to green. There we go. Okay. And I'll take the water. So now we're going to stick his ears on. I pre-glued on here. I got to add a little glue to around his ears. Trey loves this. Best part. This and the tip of your nose. But if you're a cosplayer, you deal with it. If you're a makeup artist, sometimes you get to put it on other people. So These aren't foam ears, these are just regular latex ears. Goblin ears. Foam ears you don't really need to get, but they're also going to be expensive, so we're going budget here. Okay. Let's see if we succeeded. Hood being the way it is covers up some of your seams, but we're still not done. I have some packaging domes that I painted. All right. I also cut little holes so you can see, so Trey can see. Now, ideally, these would be glued in, but I have them just resting in there. All right, so we want to do something with his mouth. So I guess we'll just paint it green too. Tried to make it, that wasn't working. Still not working. Smile. Big. Okay. So bear in mind, this is like a test to see if it would work. So where you're doing it for your actual costume, you're going to want to take a little more time, get it all planned out. Okay? And Green Goblin. So we got another makeup coming up. So hold on. All right. So now we're going to do our second makeup. Enasni, I'm sorry. Enasni decided that she wants to go to a party after the convention, but she doesn't want to wear the same because she loved this vampire makeup. She wanted to do something else and had the forethought to think, what can go with this vampire makeup? Because I only have like 20 minutes between to take my makeup off, put new makeup on, so not enough time, so we're just going to use the same thing. So we are going to go from a vampire to another undead, okay? And this one is easy, but we're gonna add one or two things in this. So what I'm gonna start with is gelatin. If you've been to any of my other panels, you know how to do it. Otherwise, you can go online and look it up. But I'm gonna take some unflavored gelatin and mix it up. So hold on. All right, so I forgot to have my gelatin prepared ahead of time. So first, I'm going to take off a little bit of the makeup where I'm going to put the gelatin. So let's go right here. Alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Going to let that evaporate a little bit. Take my gelatin, unflavored gelatin. Like I said, you can look it up. It's all over the place. I use gelatin and hot water and glycerin to keep it soft. If you're casting and making prosthetics out of gelatin, you don't want any water because it'll shrink up. And if you use just water, and no glycerin, it'll start to get hard, shrink up, peel off. And you don't want that happening in the middle of the party. Not too much water, because then it'll be runny and you have a mess, you won't be able to work with it. If you never worked with gelatin before, it smells like a wet dog, fish, something. You can add a little bit more water. Once gelatin kicks off though, you cannot add anything else to it, so you want to make sure it's the right consistency before you do it. It's also, make sure it's not too hot on their skin.
Oh god, it burns. Ah.
It's the daylight getting you, vampire. You can also do that. Instead of, we're going to go make it into another undead, you can make it into a decaying vampire. Whichever. Play with.
Is there a space?
So this is just ripped up skin. And put some here even though I didn't take the makeup off. We'll see if it works. You can see it's coming off, but alright. That's good enough. I'm gonna let that sit a little bit, but I'll work on the other side of the face while it's sitting. So we're a vampire, and I'm gonna make her an undead, walker, zombie, any term you want to use. But that's still got the vampire brow to it. So we don't want that look. Okay, so first I'm gonna yank a hunk of this out of here.
It's uncomfortable.
And another hunk. Don't pull her skin with it, because then you'll have more hunks than you want. Okay. Just gonna make a bunch of little wormholes or rotted skin. Is that your skin I pulled?
No,
Okay.
it's just a strange sensation.
I'm gonna use scissors, which you shouldn't use. You should use safety scissors, but I don't have any.
Hey, this is my moneymaker. Oh my god, this is terrifying.
I know how thick these pieces are, so
He knows he's
I'm
in out.
okay.
I'm being dramatic.
And if a piece comes up like this, no big deal, because you want skin ripped off. A little too clean. I did say I was going to work on the other side of the face, didn't I?
You sure did.
All right. I'm throwing bits of foam in my makeup real good. Exciting stuff, huh? Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol Spray on the back of my brush. No, we're gonna spray on the front, sorry. On the bristles first. Trying to peel an edge up. Which when you're trying to put makeup on, you're trying not to do that. And now I'm doing it. Like I did such a good job, it's not coming up.
Oh, 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 oh.
It evaporated. Look at this, this is not doing what I want it to do.
It's becoming my skin now.
It is. All right, let's try something not so delicate. This is getting annoying. All right, hold on.
Behold, early man. Do you know the definition of insanity?
Now what is it?
I don't know.
Well, we're just leave the way it is right now. All right. So we have to change our color a little bit. And being dead, you can go kind of mottled and everything, but we're going to add a little bit of lighter skin. I know this looks very light right now, but hold on. I'm not done. Again, highlighting the bony area. Do one on the jaw too. Rarely ever want to use black on a zombie or any undead. You want, if you have like holes in their face, you want to go really deep, you can use a little black, but stick with purples, browns, all that. This color is actually, can't tell. What does it say?
Beard stipple.
Beard stipple, so it's a brownish black. Thank you. And depending on how dead you want to be, that will also depend on what color you use, will depend on how big you want to be. ever-present crease in the nose, which everybody does nowadays. I'm going to use some purple gray, some green. And we're going to stipple over the light color. Stippling is pouncing, I guess.
Pouncing?
Pounce. I heard that on somebody on YouTube. She pounced her makeup, so
You've adopted it now?
I've adopted it.
You've adopted pouncing?
Yes. Because people make fun of my stippling, even though that's what it is. I guess in crafting would be pouncing, I don't know.
No, crafters still say stippling.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Probably like Coke and pop and soda.
It might be one of those things. All right. I'm gonna get a bruise wheel, which seems to be very, very popular these days. What I have here is a Ben Nye monster wheel. This is a Ben Nye rainbow wheel. Sorry about this. And a Ben Nye bruise wheel. Okay. I like to use a lot of brown, but there's no browns in this, so we'll be fine with this. Okay. I'm going to mix a little bit of dark purple with the ugly green. You want to take a lot of color out of the lips. Also, do not cover your zombies with blood. The only blood that would be covering them is if they had eaten somebody, not their own blood. So, and if it was, it's going to be all dried up and old and brownish and everything else. We're going to take some of this maroon color. You notice I didn't clean the brush because I want some of the darker color in there. We'll fill in the holes. Maybe a little more red. Sink in the cheeks a little more. You can use a sponge to blend, or you can use your finger. Now, because the makeup has been powdered before, and I didn't clean it all off, the new color does not want to spread very well, so you got to force it. Like I said, depending on how long she's been dead, you don't want bright red anyway, so use the darker colors. The darker red. If they've been dead for quite a while, it's going to be kind of brown black. We have this where somebody tried to bite her, or somebody did bite her. Drips. I like to do drips out of the ear too. put some blood around her mouth. She's been eating. And you can see I'm not being very neat with this, because if you're too neat, then it looks like a painted zombie. So. Since the tip of your nose is cartilage, it's not going to last that long. So you could darken it. It's rotting away. Again, this is not black. It might look black on camera, but it's a very deep purple. I was waiting for that one. All right, we'll go back and accent the bridge of the nose a little bit. Add a little bit of maybe some yellow or green. And one thing I do want to do is change the eye makeup a little bit. Close your eyes, they're closed. Open your eyes from that. Now this would be the time to put some contacts in, but we're not doing that right now. So, let's see. You'd also want to make up your neck and everything, which, do we have time for neck? Okay, let's just paint something on the neck, okay? And then go back over here. What's my time? I'm at 40? can see that I'm doing very little straight brushing because I don't want it to be too clean. She's rotting, she's been eaten. And we're going to add just a little bit of bruising, even though she's dead, but there's still going to be some pooling from when they did her. Zombie noises. Also, just for information, we're family, we've lived together, we had our shots, both shots, so we're okay. That's why we're not wearing masks.
Disgusting breath.
Thank
Disgusting
you.
COVID breath.
All right, so turn the camera, turn your neck, see. So now there's her bite mark. And to make sure it doesn't all come off, you want a powder. If you get too much powder, let's take a wet cotton ball or powder puff and pat it down, or spray your makeup with sealer. And with the zombie, it really doesn't matter if you have too much powder because you're all dried out anyway, so. Okay, so there we are. Went from a vampire to a zombie in 20 minutes. And I think it's good enough to go out. So, and if you have any questions, you can always email me or go on my Facebook, which is, can I say Facebook? I don't know. But it's Jeff Barkley, or you can email me at skintricks, SKINTRICKS62 @gmail.com. Have fun.